Hello everyone, it's Brian again. Today is day 6 of the entire challenge of using AI LLMs advice to guide my trading strategy. So today is going to be a relatively short episode, I guess, because there isn't really much to report in terms of drastic strategy changes. But let's get started with the general results, what we have obtained from the Tuesday trading session. So after the Tuesday market closed, it's surprising that Claude right now has taken the lead by a significant amount compared to the other two AI advices. So as of right now, as you can see over here, it generated around $33.4 in total profit, which means that it basically gained around 15 around 15 14 $15 just yesterday from the strategy change, which is very interesting in terms of how the things eventually turn out based on its strategy decisions. As for Gemini, it slightly felt a little bit behind. It didn't really change much. It's still earning the profit at the range of $18 compared to the starting principal of $1,000. So there isn't really much change over here. On the other hand, though, GPT did once again drop. Right now is to only a small, like a really small gain of 56 cents, and it's not looking really good for GPT's strategy as Microsoft stocks continue to fall in terms of the shares. So let's analyze the general trend that were brought by these AI LLMs. The first one is by Claude, which is sort of notices how the AMD stock pick that we had currently around 1 or 2 shares was crushing it yesterday in the Tuesday market. There was a semiconductor rally as mentioned by Claude, and also it sort of rationalizes how SCHD will be a very good hedge for the Wednesday trading session because it comprises of both defensive positioning with energy exposure to Chevron and ConocoPhillips, and as well as very much healthcare companies to provide sort of like, I guess, a more defensive position rather than the aggressive market approach. So it's really good, and it's good for like hedging against volatility that might happen after like the tariff ruling by the Supreme Court. So I guess the main strategy, according to Claude, is to hold, and we'll see what happens with it. For Gemini, to point out to the new reports that were not brought up by other AI chatbots, it's basically talked about how there's this producer price index, PPI, that was resulted, and it was actually better than what the analysts expect. So basically what's going to happen is that these high growth tech stocks like Nvidia and Amazon, etc., will have like a very high momentum, possibly a rally after, since this report is basically released. And yeah, and as for Vistra, which is VST, even though it dropped slightly a bit yesterday, but as of right now, Gemini still reassured us by saying that it's around 26.5% undervalued based on long-term cash flow from the Meta nuclear deal. So basically, it's guaranteed to have this sort of like a long-term growth according to Gemini. As for GPT, it started to just sort of like change its strategy by saying that currently we're going to maintain a holding of both Apple and Microsoft, but it's going to be a biased holding scenario in which where Microsoft starts to dip again, we're going to be like put it on a chopping block and sell it like as soon as possible if there's like a massive market drastic change. So basically, if it closes red again, Microsoft will become the first and only candidate to sell, quoting from GPT. So that's it for today's general strategy, I guess. Basically, all of them just suggested me to hold on the stocks, so there isn't really much to discuss. And if you want to keep on following day 7 of my trading journey, ensure you subscribe to the channel to continue to follow my journey.